Long before tarred roads reached the forests of eastern Nigeria, there stood the ancient village of Umuochi, a community bound by customs older than memory itself. At the center of the village stood the sacred well. No one knew who dug it. No one knew how deep it was, but for generations every unmarried girl in Umuochi had been required to stand before the well on the eve of the New Yam festival. The village priest would lower a wooden bucket tied to a thick rope into the water. If the bucket returned full, the girl was declared pure and truthful before the ancestors. If the rope snapped or the bucket refused to rise, it was believed the well had rejected her. No one questioned the ritual until the day Pastor Emmanuel's daughter stepped forward. Her name was Favour. Unlike many young women in the village, Favour had spent years studying in the city. She respected the elders but often encouraged young people to think carefully before accepting every tradition without question. Many admired her. Others whispered that education had filled her head with pride. On the morning of the ceremony, the entire village gathered around the sacred well. One after another, the young women stepped forward. Each bucket returned filled with crystal clear water. Cheers echoed through the crowd. Then Favour's name was called. The priest lowered the bucket slowly. Everyone watched in silence. Seconds passed. Then something unexpected happened. The rope became unusually tight. The priest pulled harder. Suddenly, crack! The rope snapped in two. The bucket disappeared into the darkness below. The crowd gasped. Women screamed. Within minutes, whispers spread across the village. The well has rejected her. She has brought shame upon her family. Even the ancestors refuse her. By sunset, people stopped greeting Favour. Children were warned not to visit her father's compound. Some demanded she be banished before disaster struck the village. Pastor Emmanuel stood beside his daughter despite the insults. He asked only one question. If the well reveals truth, who tested the truth of the well? His words angered the village council. No one had ever dared ask such a question. Days later, the village blacksmith approached the pastor with a surprising discovery. While repairing farming tools, he noticed something unusual about the broken rope. It hadn't snapped from spiritual forces. The fibers were badly worn. The rope had been weak for years. Curious, several elders inspected the storage hut where the ceremonial items were kept. There they found brand new ropes hidden behind old baskets. The sacred well had been using the same rotten rope year after year, while newer ones remained untouched. The discovery shocked everyone, but the biggest surprise was still to come. An elderly woman named Mama Nkem finally revealed a secret she had carried for over 40 years. When she was a young girl, the rope had once broken during her own ceremony. She too had been falsely accused. Ashamed and afraid, she had remained silent because no one would believe her. As more elderly women spoke, another pattern emerged. Several innocent girls over the decades had suffered the same humiliation, not because the well had judged them, but because the old rope had failed. The village council suddenly found itself facing an uncomfortable truth. How many lives had been ruined by fear? How many families had been divided by a tradition no one ever questioned? Ashamed, the elders gathered before the entire community. For the first time in Umuochi's history, the chief admitted that traditions created by humans could also contain human mistakes. The sacred well was no longer used to judge anyone. Instead, it became a symbol reminding future generations that wisdom grows when people seek truth instead of blindly following fear. As for Favour, The same villagers who had once condemned her later praised her courage, not because she had fought the tradition with anger, but because her quiet dignity forced an entire village to confront a painful truth. To this day, elders in Umuochi still tell the story of the broken rope, not as a tale about shame, but as a reminder that sometimes the greatest danger is not questioning what everyone else believes. Now tell us, was Favour the villain, the victim, or the true hero of Umuochi? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy African folk tales filled with mystery, wisdom, betrayal, and unforgettable lessons, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.